Hey, welcome in. So I guess 1984 is getting a much not needed update. I guess we've always been at war with Eurasia is going to be changed to we've always been at war with Eurasia, women most affected. Now, I remind you that the protagonist of 1984 was Winston Smith, and his job was to rewrite the past in service of the totalitarian, all-consuming party. So there's no irony here at all, none that I can see. And another thing, feminism is no longer just its own thing anymore, right? It, along with critical race theory and critical gender theory and a million other theories, they all serve the same master, which is Marxism. These are all far-left ideologies under the umbrella of Marxism. That's what they're all moving towards. That is the foundation of all of them. These are all just different ways of tricking people into accepting it. But anyway, so let's see. Julia, a feminist retelling of George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984, has been approved by the estate of the late author, who's definitely not spinning in his grave, and has found publishers in both North America and the UK, with Variety reporting that the upcoming novel is already being eyed for an on-screen adaptation, which will surely happen because Hollywood no longer cares if anybody likes or sees their movies, apparently. This is not something that anybody's clamoring for, by the way. I mean, maybe gender studies professors, I guess. One wonders why it would be necessary to have a feminist retelling of a book about a totalitarian world in which everybody is oppressed equally. In fact, you might say there was equity. I mean, it almost seems kind of absurd, doesn't it? I mean, did anybody who ever read 1984 think to themselves, well, this is all well and good, but there must be a gender wage gap at Airstrip 1. And there's a conspicuous lack of transgender characters in this book that was written decades ago. And if this is coming from the modern left, which it surely is, well, I mean, they like things like censorship. All the stuff we warn about as being Orwellian, they like that. In fact, let's take a look. Well, here's a tweet from the author of the Feminist 1984, and here we get an insight into her thoughts on free speech. She says, "This is really funny. Gab," now Gab is an alternative social media site, which is being demonized by the mainstream press and is constantly being crushed under the boot of big tech. She says, "Gab keeps whining about censorship while not allowing replies on any of their tweets." Well, okay, maybe she's got a point there about the tweets, but I just wonder what kind of a commitment to free speech she might have when she says things like, "Gab keeps whining about censorship." Sounds like she's not really all that against censorship, which is kind of like a thing in 1984, right? Censorship's kind of a part of the story. It's kind of tied in with the whole totalitarian thing. So, I mean, that doesn't give me great confidence right there. How about this tweet here? "The people who scaremonger about cancel culture are weirdly unconcerned about the routine abuse of libel law to suppress reporting, a real censorship issue which lets dictators and oligarchs get away with theft and killing on a massive scale." Now, aside from the hysterical nature of this tweet, she may have a point about libel law, but this is a very typical leftist deflection from something that she apparently approves of in cancel culture, because she's saying people who scaremonger about this thing that's not really scary, it's just cancel culture. Cancel culture being something that is routinely described as being Orwellian. I think we have to assume from this that she's pro-cancel culture and pro-canceling people that she disagrees with, and pro-censoring out of existence ideas that she doesn't like. Again, I wonder if this is the best choice for a rewriting of 1984. And I wonder if there's just some irony in all of this. Could there be? Let's see. Julia, written by Sandra Newman, will be told from the perspective of the female character of the same name in the original 1984, which focused on male protagonist Winston. Well, you can't have that. That's patriarchy right there. But I should mention in 1984 that everybody lives under a totalitarian system, where every aspect of everybody's life is controlled by the party. Equally. Everybody is equally oppressed. And it's made very clear in the book. I mean, this is the end game of leftist ideology, of collectivism. Individualism is not tolerated. And the only thing that matters is the party. So I don't really see why this needs a feminist updating. Here's a quote from 1984. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. Yeah, 1984 is a very inconvenient book for leftists. I understand why they would want to rewrite it, because he who controls the past controls the future. Because they're doing this all the time already. The 1619 Project, the constant changing or redefinition of words. Master bedroom is practically genocide. And don't forget, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and feminism is about equality. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.